Thank you for joining us. Welcome to LumioseStation.
What's going on, LumioseStation? Today we have a shorter Pokemon Immigrant Alpha Sapphire Wi-Fi battle, and can you guess why that is? Because my opponent, Hayden Matum, is running a hyper-offensive team, and those are pretty darn scary. So, I don't really have much to say other than the fact that my Azumarill can take care of a lot of his Pokemon, practically his whole entire team. So Azumarill is definitely my most important team member, and that's all you really need to know. So I guess we're going to go ahead and get into the battle, and let's just let everything unfold. So I'm going to go ahead and leading off with my Rotom Heat while my opponent leads off with his Latios, which I don't really know what I was predicting. I think I was predicting his Gallade lead just so I could get a burn off on it first turn, you know, so it wasn't as threatening. But yeah, unfortunately for me, he ends up leading off with Latios and he goes for the Draco Meteor. Now, I've had battles where I lived Draco Meteors from Latios before, and he's not Life Orb, so what could it be? Choice Specs is the only thing I can think of. So unfortunately, turn 1, my first Pokemon goes down, which is just not looking good for me instantly. It's just terrible. So he's going to go ahead and switch out his Latios because I sent in my Ferrothorn and I was looking over the Gyro Ball, but then I'm like, wait, he's going to send in Heatran. What the fuck, Calm? So I'm going to make the double switch, or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to make the play predicting his Heatran switching, and I'm going to my Azumarill. So he's going to go ahead and get a Toxic off of me, which is no biggie because I have the Healing Wish Latias. So if I really want to get rid of this Toxic, you know, because it starts becoming a problem, then I can, you know, do that when I have to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and just go for the Waterfall and take out his first Pokemon. So, you know, we lost the Pokemon each. We lost what's usually known as specially defensive Pokemon, I guess, each. So it's nice. It's nice to kill things, you know, it's nice to take out Pokemon. So, with that, he's going to go ahead and bring in his Garchomp. Now, the first thing I thought was Scarf Chomp, because Choice Scarf Garchomp is probably just one of the most common sets, and it's probably one of the best sets. So, he's obviously not going to go for a Dragon type move because I'm a Fairy type, unless he predicted me switching to my Latias here, which he doesn't. So, I bring in my Latias, and, you know, he does not appreciate that because he's Choice into Earthquake, obviously, because he wouldn't have switched type if he wasn't. So, I'm going to go ahead and, go for the Draco Meteor here and take this Terrakion down to a nice red HP. Now, I made a play here that I definitely could have avoided. I didn't need to do this, but I decided to switch out into my Ferrothorn to take a close combat and die and killing off the Terrakion with Iron Barbs. Now, the reason I did this was because, one, I didn't really think my Ferrothorn had much use. I could have used him as Death Fodder later on, but the other reason is I was paranoid as shit that this Terrakion was going to be Scarfed as well, and he was going to X-Scissor the fuck out of my Latias. So I decided, rather than him killing my Latias with an X-Scissor, you know, and I could use that Latias for Healing Wish, of course, I'd rather get rid of a Pokemon such as Ferrothorn. I don't really need that much right now, I guess, and make sure the Terrakion goes down with him by taking a close combat / X-Scissor, which goes out well, I guess. The Terrakion's gone, and that blind motherfucker's got nothing to do. But I decided not to Mega Evolve here and go for the Giga Drain just in case his Keldeo was Scarfed too. You do not know how scared I was of Scarf Pokemon in this battle, and it turns out he's not Scarfed because I speed him, and then he ends up going for the Icy Wind. It does a lot of damage, but it definitely would have took me out if he was Scarfed, and outsped me, did 4 times the super effective damage, so I guess I made an okay play. I found out he wasn't a Scarf Keldeo, he was a Life Orb Keldeo, but unfortunately that drops my speed, meaning he's faster than me now. So it's going to force me to go into my Azumarill, who's going to have to take a pretty hard hit from a Secret Sword, meaning I'm going to have to get rid of my Latias sooner because I'm going to need HP on my Azumarill and stuff, so not really too happy about that. But since he's got the Toxic on my Azumarill, he carries Protect on his Keldeo for some reason. Well, it's obviously for some reason. It's for stalling the Pokemon lower down with their health and stuff. He's going to Protect there, which is fancy. And I decided here, it's now or never. I looked at his team, and every single thing on his team, I sped my Latias. And I'm like, this is the only opportunity I'm probably going to get to heal up my Azumarill, which, as I said to you guys in the beginning, Azumarill is the most important member on my team. It legit bodies his whole entire team with my super effective typing on him. So I have to heal up the Azumarill now, just so I don't get stalled out by this fucking dumbass Keldeo with Protect. So unfortunately, Latias died like really early, but it's only because it doesn't outspeed anything else on his team. Like, other than this Keldeo, it outspeeds nothing. So I had to just do it now. So he's going to Protect, of course. I guess just to scout out, see what I want to do. I'm just going to go for the Aqua Jet again afterwards. I could have switched out predicting him to go into Garchomp, but I didn't want to make a risky play, and it ended up working out because he's just going to get a free switch into the Latios, which, of course, I figured out he is Choice Specs Latios because I'm going to go ahead and bring my Diggersby here, and take a Psy Shock, which surprisingly it doesn't Oklo me, you know. I honestly thought it was gonna take me out, but for me, Diggersby lives, and that's gonna allow me to get a Scarf knockoff on him. And as you guys will see here, he ends up being a Choice Specs Latios, which is nice to know. That's the reason why I fucking Oklo'd my Rotom. I thought my Rotom was just slacking or some shit. So obviously he's running Scarf Chomp, and I really want to keep this Diggersby around for his Gallade because it's the only thing I really have still that'll outspeed his Gallade, other than my Sceptile, which my Sceptile here is Death Water now because he's got to go. It's past his bedtime. So with that, all I have left is a Azumarill and Diggersby, and I believe he has his Garchomp and his Gallade thing, dude. So he's gonna stay in with the Scarf Chomp and Earthquake again, and just get some nice hard damage off of my Azumarill, which does so much more than I thought it would. Garchomp is so fucking strong. So luckily enough for me, accuracy isn't against me. I land the Play Rough, and it's gonna do a number on the Garchomp, which then he's gonna go ahead and send out his Gallade. Now he's obviously gonna Mega Evolve it and hit me with something hard to kill me. I was hoping and praying it would be a close combat because if he close combated me, I could have sent him my Diggersby and took him out with a return. But unfortunately for me, he goes with the Zen Headbutt. Now, if he missed the Zen Headbutt, would have been perfect because I could have took him out with Choice Band to Play Rough. But unfortunately enough for me, he doesn't miss the Zen Headbutt, which is fine. I'm not really too upset about it. So all I can hope on now is a crit from Diggersby because I know his only priority move, I guess, he's probably going to run in this thing, would be Shadow Sneak. And yeah, unfortunately for me, Diggersby doesn't pull through and doesn't get no types of crits, and I'm not quite able to take him out, but it's fine. Played pretty well against this hyper-offensive ass team, considering I had to sack off so many Pokemon, and I guess the reason hyper-offensive teams are cool is because it just gets battles done quickly, which he actually told me he was live streaming at the time of this battle. So you know, when you're live streaming, you obviously want to get battles done fast, and hyper-offensive teams are just the way to go about it. So I may try and build myself a hyper-offensive team just to, you know, get a battle for you guys or whatever. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed the battle. It was pretty close in the end. He ended up just living, you know, ended up just a 1-0 in his favor, and it was by a slither of HP. So I don't know, maybe if I made a few different plays, I could have helped myself out and won. Not entirely sure. Maybe if I kept my Rotom heat alive and switching it by fucking Ferrothorn or something like that. I don't know. Could have went differently. Either way, hope you guys enjoyed. Go ahead and drop me a like if you did. And till then, I'm out of here.